Out you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Get dressed.
Hey,
you can't just walk around
over
like
here.
this.
Oh!
Are you looking for a fight?
Henry?
You horse son.
What is it? Why are you skulking here?
What's your story?
What would you say? Right now, I'm slightly scruffy nothing.
But I don't have any money. Look at me. I don't have anything at all.
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side. Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I'd like to look distinguished. Like the proper right hand of a highborn lord.
After what you did here, I'd say your days as a right hand are over.
Still, I don't want to look like some yokel.
Without money, you can't deck yourself out in much finery. You'd certainly find something fancy in Bartoszek's workshop. And if anybody asks, you didn't hear it from me.
Thanks. These'll come in handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semmy. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh, damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semmin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semmin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semmin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semmin.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
Oh well, it was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Ugh, this hurts like hell.
So you want to steal a horse? Do you? Stop right there! You don't fight with guards, you fool. You surrender to them. Are you blind? You almost ran into me. God!
Quick!
Whoa!
God! Go! Go!
My God, where are your clothes?
Quick! God! Quick! Go! Quick! Go! Quick! Go! Go! Keep it up. Whoa, whoa. Wait, wait, wait! Ka! Wait! 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 Ka! 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 Easy! Easy! Ka! Quick! Ka! Quick! Go! Ka! Quick! Ka! Ka! Stand still! Quick! Whoa!
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience would come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Go over to the anvil and let's get started. Look out! Go over to the anvil and let's get started. Are you gonna get started then? Are you gonna get started then?
Did you drink away your hose?
Are you gonna get started then? Are you gonna get started then?
Did you drink away your hose?
Get to it. I want to see how you'll fare. Get to it. I want to see how you'll fare.
Did you drink away your hose?
Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. Tell the temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got time for that. Now heat up the whole thing. Thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, Any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. Move it. You're standing there like a fence post. You call this working? It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Sparks are flying nicely. The ring you want. Sparks are flying nicely. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Did you drink a... Christ. Can't you wash up before going out in public?
I heard at the Troskovitz Tavern that you might have a job offer.
Well, you don't look lame. I reckon I could find some work for you.
I also heard you're invited to that big wedding coming up.
That's no business of yours at the moment.
All right. So what kind of work do you have for me?
You'll be carrying sacks of flour.
Well, I probably won't find anything better around here anyway.
The sacks are in the barn, and the wagon is in front of it. I'll give you a groschen for every half dozen you carry. It may not seem like much, but if you don't dawdle, you might even save up for some nag at the Senine stables. I heard they got lucky and recently rounded up a bunch of horses from some company that got routed by bandits. They've got some gray old nag that they're practically giving away. You won't have to buy food. We'll take care of that. And you can sleep here, in the barn. But not on the sacks of flour, you understand? Or I'll tan your hide. Climb up to the loft with the others.
Oh, fuck me.
Be careful what you wish for. Go on, get to work. See you soon, my friend. Careful.
What's the purpose of the pen beyond the stream?
You noticed the bloodstains there, eh? I let my hands practice fist fighting there.
No, thank you. That's not exactly my thing.
Suit yourself. If you change your mind, let me know. See you soon, my friend. Jesus Christ be praised.
Fuck, that's heavy. This is no joke. Oof. Bit heavy for flour. Fucking hell. What a slug. Maybe this one will be lighter. I'm sweating like a pig. Bit heavy for flour. Fucking hell. What a slug. Kurwa. What the?
got it done. I said, are you done?
You're milling some pretty peculiar grain here, Miller. It's got a bit of a metallic flavour to it.
Kurva. Can't you be more careful?
Tell me the truth. What are you really doing here?
Seems I'll have to lift the lid off the cauldron of knowledge sooner than I expected. You think you're ready?
Yes.
I'm attempting to convert matter into a truly miraculous energy.
What?
I understand. It seems impossible. I'm sure you're asking yourself what that has to do with the metal in the sacks. But we're only just scratching the surface. You see, for my experiment, I'll need something sinfully earthy. Something we'll have to appropriate. And that's something you can help me with, my curious apprentice.
So thievery. Just like Peshek in Ratai. I should have known.
Thievery? What a crude way of putting it.
But a truthful one.
Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
I'll help you.
That's the right attitude. Now listen up. In Troskovitz, next to the tavern, there's a rat house. And in that rat house, there's a chest. And in that chest is a document I need. One that used to be mine. But due to an unfortunate twist of fate, ended up there. It's called The Offer of Hermes Trismegistos. It's written right on it. Can you read? At least a little?
I can read. But I reckon that's the catch, isn't it?
The catch is, the chest is under lock and key, and most likely well guarded.
Of course it is. And then you'll get me into Semin's wedding?
Aye. If you help me, I'll find a way to get you there. Miller's honor.
I'd like to learn more about the art of thievery.
Thievery? Humph. I call it the art of thievery. It's simply an art. But all right, enough wordplay. If you want to learn something, go and see Hensel. He'll tell you how to relieve people of the things in their purses, or how to quickly and painlessly send them to the land of dreams. And if you'd like to try opening locks without a key, there's a chest in the barn that you carried the sacks to. You can practice on that.
Where exactly should I look for this document? I doubt they've only got one chest in the Troskovitz rat house.
I can't help you there, but my hand Zinnik might know more. He had the document on him, but then the bloody fool got caught because of something else, and they took it from him. I'm pretty sure he's still on display in the stocks on the square. Just remember, lad, if you get caught like he did, the guards will turn out your pockets. And it would be pretty hard to explain what a tramp like you is doing with a document he can't even read.
No, I doubt the bailiff will let me roam around the rat house and go peeking through his chests. Any advice on getting in there without being spotted?
Oh, come on. Do I really have to spell it out for you? Black clothes, the play of light and dark. A quiet night, and those who live in the shadows, concealed beneath its veil.
Is that supposed to be advice?
Just get some inconspicuous clothing and head over there after midnight.
And where can I get some clothes like that?
I had my outfit washed in the Gilioff bathhouse, but after a bit of disagreement, they refused to give it back. It's my gift to you. All you have to do is pick it up.
Pick them up? You want me to steal them, don't you?
Doesn't it sound like a suitable appetizer before the main course? There's no sense in trying to deal with the owner, Dorothy, anyway. She's a contrary woman who's impossible to talk to.
I'm not even surprised your paths crossed, all right? I reckon I know everything I need. Thanks.
Don't shove.
Determination.
Get dressed. You can't just... Mind where you're going!
Crazel told me you'd show me how to do a takedown.
Then follow me. So Crazel took you on just like that? Surprising. Crazel hardly trusts anyone. He's a smart man. So don't you even think about betraying him. That would end badly for you. Not to scare you, though. That's not what I'm here for. Well then, it's easy. Sneak up behind me and choke me out. I won't fight back the first time, so you should have no trouble. Just remember, you mustn't let me see you.
All right, I'll give it a try.
You know what to do. I won't fight back, so you should manage it. Just don't let me see you.
No, I can't right now.
Tivole, then why'd you drag me out here? People these days.
That's him! Stop right now!
Are you Zinnek?
Yeah, look, mate, I really need to piss. Can you let me out of here?
Crazel sent me. He's looking for some document the bailiff took from you.
And what's the password?
Mill wheel?
Just shaking your pizzle. You should have seen your face. They caught me at night when I was robbing a merchant, and then they make any distinction between what I stole and what I already had on me. They took everything, including that document, and locked it all away in the chest of stolen things in the rat house jail. You could get into the jail from the courtyard behind the rat house. It's right under the guardhouse. Or you could get there from behind the tavern alongside the fence. As soon as you find the stairs leading down, you'll know you're in the right place.
Well, who's got the key to it?
Well, actually, I had it, but when the guards shook me down, I must have dropped it. It was in the chamber, next to the one with the chest. They've got a pretty soft bed in there, I tell you. The key probably fell under it.
Is that the only key?
No, of course not. Every guard in Troskovitz has one. Best to rob one of them who's slacking off or having a nap. Look, mate, do you actually know how to pickpocket?
Well, I'm still learning, so I could use some advice.
You're in luck. You're speaking to a master. Of course, I am in the stocks just now, but that was just rotten luck. There ain't much I can teach you like this, is there? Better go and see Crazel. Farewell. He doesn't see me like this.
Enough! I surrender!
Wanted a new horse, did you? You'll pay for that, you fucking thief!
Take me away.
Right then, let's go. I'll lock you up in the pillory until you rot.
That was embarrassing. We'll be the talk of...
Have you been rolling in shit? Mother of God! Where's that stench coming from? Kiss your ass goodbye. I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker.
Come on, then. You won't escape punishment.
Now you'll see. The author of her...
You'll be sorry, you bastard.
You want You're still resisting.
Nice.
Have you been rolling in shit? Mother of God! Where's that stench coming from? God!
I'm not hungry now.
You won't get away with it, you bastards!
I'll punish
The
you,
offer
you
of
dirt.
Hermes Trismegistos. That's Crazel's document.
I'll tear you a new arsehole, you fucker! I'll shoot your head off. Now I'll shoot you dead.
God be with you.
What do you have for sale? I have a few more questions about thievery.
You know I don't like that ugly word. What do you want to know about the art?
I've been known to be a bit noisy. How do I stay quiet?
Only a fool goes robbing in full armor. Better to take off your chainmail before you go climbing through someone else's window. And tread lightly. Not only will you not make a racket, but you just might hear the fellow in the other room get up to take a piss.
Well, a weapon in hand won't do me much good, but I feel more confident with it.
Seems like everyone does nowadays. But if you're not looking to draw attention, a dagger in your belt will do just fine. All you need in your hand is a lockpick and a bag for valuables. But best to keep your hands free. If you get caught where you're not supposed to, neither a dagger nor a lockpick in hand will look too good.
That's all. Thanks for the advice. I'll have a look at the wares. You know how you were talking about the fist-fighting bouts you hold here?
Well, why not? Who knows? Maybe you'll get to go all the way to Zhelyov.
To Zhelyov, you say?
Aye. Once in a while, I send my strongest hand there to test his mettle against the locals. He earns a few groschen, and I sleep better at night when folk around know I have a hulk of a man like that here.
And if I beat your hands, would you send me to Zhelyov? I could also use those groschen.
We'll see. You ain't beaten no one yet.
How should I handle light properly?
Most guards and people you meet at night are either blind or drunk. The night is your friend. Stick to where the light doesn't shine. Dark clothing help out as well. And only a complete idiot doesn't put away their torch while robbing. And if you know how, brew yourself a Nighthawk. It tastes like piss, but it'll help you see better and keep you from being seen.
How should I plan a robbery?
Most people have the same routine every day. Pay attention to people's behavior. Who goes where and which way. When they rest and when they go to bed. When are they usually drunk? When you get to know your victim, you'll know when they'll be home and when they won't. And where you're sneaking into someone's house. Try a back window. Don't go for the front door.
That's all. Thanks for the advice. I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
Judging by the contents, it seems like you're dabbling in alchemy here at the mill.
That's not a bad guess. But don't forget about astrology, theurgy, transmutation, and a smidgen of demonology. Although that's something anyone with a grain of sense should avoid. Now show it to me, so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes. Of course.
And what now?
That much? We're going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semine.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
Are you yanking my pizzle?
Not at all. I'll get you to the wedding as sure as the heavens are above me, and the fire of the Creator is within me. But you'll have to wait a while. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. You guessed it. It's nothing less than high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I suppose. You are my apprentice, after all. You deserve to know what all of this is leading to. Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices and theurgy, bring him to life.
A golem, you say? Isn't that a kind of pie? What are you going to do with a living pie?
Henry, a golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish Kabbals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit. A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks, pulling wagons, standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinnik, but he'd have the strength of 10 men.
My word. That sounds incredible. I have to see it.
So far, it's just all in my head. But if you're patient and help me, you'll see soon enough. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees. And all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
So a golem, you say, made of flour? For the good of mankind?
Exactly!
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now? I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work, there's plenty.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpeter pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpeter pit is?
A saltpeter pit is a pit in which saltpeter is formed.
This has something to do with the alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know much about that stuff.
Nitra is saltpeter. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for a young semi?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpeter as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired, and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpeter is the most important thing. Saltpeter will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpeter will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpeter pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
All right, then. I'll look around for that saltpeter pit of yours. I just hope you know where to look, that you can point me in the right direction, and also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpeter if you prefer.
So this Bonnie is some kind of witch who's in on this golem stuff.
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpeter, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. You don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpeter, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
Your best people? That's just another way of saying people who are wanted by the bailiff, eh?
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
All right then. How do I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget, you could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth, Zinnik. On the other hand, Zinnik might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinnik, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie? Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Run along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair. I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
Henry's fine.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what? I'll come up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I'm sorry. I've got nothing for you.
I reckon I'll just have to scrape together the ingredients for that magic ritual myself.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zenek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Crazel tell you about the golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
Well, I'm curious to see what a golem made of flour will look like, but I'm mostly curious to see if Crazel will really be able to breathe life into it with the help of saltpeter.
I'm more worried that as soon as it comes to life, it'll slay us all with one blow. So, if by some chance it looks like something's going wrong, you won't see my heels for dust. And I suggest you do the same. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Crazel's saltpeter, I won't keep you.
No. I have plenty of time. But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zenek in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zenek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the miller's finally found a normal hand for once. But it's a shame I don't have my dog Sniffer no more. It was fun with him at least.
Crazel mentioned that he died.
Aye, from some fucking disease. He started getting these lumps all over his body. Then he stopped eating and what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also, thieves?
I found myself following the path of the night. My only brother now is my sword.
Oh, aye. Men these days solve all their problems in armor on the field, gouging each other's eyes out and hacking off each other's limbs. Where are the good old days when everything could be solved with a simple dagger stab or a nice strong cup of hemlock? Jesus, I sound like an old crone now, eh? And you know who else pines for the good old days? Crazel. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
He seems awfully mystical. He has lots of experience, like as if he's lived for hundreds of years.
It's his beard that does that. Don't let it fool you. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpeter. Before you came, and before Zenek fucked up with the manuscript, we collected saltpeter all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case, you know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpeter.
A barrel isn't much.
But we did bloody thorough job. Unfortunately, Crazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
6 times? Will one saltpeter pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Crazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpeter forms. Do you have any idea?
Certainly. Well, you take a chunk of salt and pray to St. Peter to miraculously transform it.
You won't find it any joking matter soon enough. Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses. Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave. the best natural saltpeter maker.
Crazel said saltpeter is a vessel for life energy. Well, I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
You mean a knacker?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the gravedigger.
Well, I haven't met him yet. Where can I find him?
The cemetery is beyond Troskovitz, towards the Apollonia rocks.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun, and pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskovitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, Henry. God be with you.
Stop where you are! We're after you! Surrender at once!
You must be the local gravedigger, right? I'm Henry.
Ignatius, master of the sod, at your service. Looking for a final resting place? Or do you need to bury a dead goat?
None of that. I have a different, slightly unusual request. Bonnie from Lower Semine sent me. We're looking for a saltpeter pit.
From Lower Semine? What pit?
A saltpeter pit.
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. What's it supposed to be? A pit to hell?
Yeah, something like that. At night, you hear the cries of tormented souls and catch the whiff of sulphur.
Well, That I can't help you with.
Not to worry. It's actually just a hole with some rotting carcasses in it. These white crystals form in it. And that's exactly what we're after.
You should have said you're looking for the pit I throw carcasses into. What's all this about Salty Peter? I'm going to go there anyway, so I'll take you there.
Really? That was easier than I thought.
Not even a chicken scratches in the dirt without hope of reward, though. You'll help me with something first. I have some collections from some Slatigo farmsteads, and I'd be a fool if I didn't use a helping hand. At least one day I can take it a bit easy.
You want me to help you with your grave-digging business?
Why not? You look like a strong fella. You'll be a good helper.
Oh, dragging carcasses around isn't exactly a respectable job. But so be it. I'll help you with it. What else can I do?
Grave digging is a job like any other. Sooner or later, everyone needs our services. And if it wasn't for us knackers, folk would have to deal with their animal carcasses themselves.
Of course, I understand. I'm just a little worried about what people will say about me when they see me with you. I wouldn't like to lose the honor I've earned as squire to a nobleman.
Don't worry about what people say. They'll only strip you of your honor if you let them. So what then? Shall we take a nice little ride with my boys Snorter and Dragonfly here? Nice and early, at daybreak.
I'll have to think about it. I'll stop by later.
Later? No. I head out nice and early at the crack of dawn, so make sure you come on time.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this, but let's get going.
Didn't you understand me? We ain't going nowhere now. Like I said, be here at daybreak. That's between night and day. Do you understand?
Is there some place I can wait for morning to come?
Of course, if you've got nothing better to do, you can sit here with me. If you know how to read, I have a book hidden in the outhouse I got of a dead fella. That'll make the time go faster. In fact, you can keep it. All I can do is admire all them fancy squiggles in it anyway.
And where can I sleep?
At the inn in Truskowitz. Get a good breakfast there, too. You'll need it to be at full strength. Here's a little something so you know I take care of my helpers. See you in the morning. There's nothing. You've no business here. Were you trying to steal from us or what? Pay up, or I'll call the guards.
I apologize, my friend. Will you forgive me? I'll pay you back in the future.
All right. No doubt it'll come in handy one day to be in your good books. So run along, but don't try anything like that again. There's nothing. You've no business here. Were you trying to steal from us or what? Pay up, or I'll call the guards.
Hang on. I'm sure we can come to some agreement, yeah? It was just a little joke. It's funny, eh?
You laugh on the other side of your face when I call a catchpole.
Look, I don't care. Fuck her!
Do it.
Huh? You can't take me!
Wanker!
Oh!
What do you want? Enough! Leave me be!
We'll see if I let you go or not.
I surrender. You hear me?
If I were you, I'd forget what I saw, pal. I could get pissed off. And then nobody's safe from my blade.
Hang on. Leave me alone. We'll forget about it.
There's nothing left here.
They will be done. What do you want from me? Take a look at yourself, you bum.
I don't know if I'm completely ready for this. But let's get going.
The dew is still on the leaves. The roads are clear. Hop on the wagon and Snorter and Dragonfly here will take care of us. Did I bring that stuff for Visor? Meat? Bane? Aesop? Got it all. Good. We've got a long journey ahead of us, so get yourself comfortable so your arse won't hurt. So, you say you're from Lower Samine, eh?
Well, you could say that. I help the miller with whatever I can. I got a place to sleep there. Soon I'll be able to call the miller uncle.
I remember Crazel when he was still a wee lad. Even then he was a great big smart-ass. When I buried his parents, he was traipsing somewhere through the world. Maybe you heard what they say about Lower Samine round these parts. Crazel don't sell short measure, not that. He looks out for his reputation, but his helpers have been seen often in the villages after dark, looking fishy. Or during the day, in the pillories. Don't that Bonnie of yours belong to that gang too?
Unfortunately, she does. Crazel ordered Bonnie and her accomplice Zinnek to scrape saltpeter off the walls of the sties. And when they had a chance to loiter about in the yards here in the region, well, they made good use of the opportunity to line their purses.
Ay, ay, ay. What have I gotten myself into in my twilight years? Lower Samine's a thorn in the side for a lot of folk. Some on account of the competition. Some is just rubbed up the wrong way by that Crazel. Either way, all they need's the slightest excuse to grab their pitchforks. Go and grab the miller and shove his face right in his own millstone. Yeah! Yeah! Whoa, boys, whoa! Come on. Come on! Are you deaf? Oh, they're acting stubborn again. Now listen, Henry. Here on the left side, you'll see the ruins of a cottage that's been abandoned for a few years.
It looks mysterious. What treasures might be hidden there?
You'll soon see. I have a trap set inside the cottage. I wanted to lure a wolf into it, but that didn't work out. There's a deer rotting there unnecessarily. So hop in there and bring it to the wagon. Finally. At least we're not blocking the road too much.
Oh, Jesus, what a stench. Better quickly throw it in a sack and take it back to the wagon.
Two stinking bastards that was here sneaking around the stars a while ago. You put them up to it, didn't you, knacker?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Horse shit. They said they was working for you, mucking out sties. And when they left, folk noticed things missing from their chests. Before they got a chance to report it at the rat house, here you come rolling through. Wasn't enough for you, eh?
Me? Now look here.
But all that's over with. We've decided to take matters into our own hands.
Yeah, well, that's what folk are...
Hey, we've got another one
I want
over
to talk
here.
to you. I'm coming.
Move it.
What's going on, Ignatius?
Ah, I'm trying to explain to these fellas we've got nothing to do with no thieving around here. They should go to Lower Samine to complain.
2 stinking pieces of shit was sneaking around our sties and cellars and lining their purses with silver too while they was at it. Some scruffy and dunger. You must be Scruffy, eh?
I'm Henry, and those, names mean nothing to me.
Like I said, if it's rotten carrion they're after, they should have come to me. A passion for knacking is the only thing we have in common.
Is that so? So prove it then.
Ignatius is telling the truth. There are all sorts of types causing trouble in these parts. Not just from Lower Semine. Ignatius and I thank you for taking on the job of guarding the roads, making sure that honest, if somewhat grubby tradesmen stay safe.
Aye, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So, thanks.
Really good work, lad. Well, time waits for no man. Let's all carry on with our duties, eh?
All right, listen. We'll be going then. But if you happen to run into them 2 thieves, you tell us right away, got it?
Of course.
You can count on it.
Glad to hear it. Let's go, fellas. Maybe... Did I get this right? Maybe it was the one with that shape.
Not much left for us to do here, eh?
Hopefully our luck will hold out, and we'll only be breaking the limbs of carcasses today. The next farm's just up ahead. Hop on, and let's go. Here we come, Snorter. Don't worry. That was just a kind of little favour for me. Now we'll help the locals here in Jdar with their carcasses.
So far, I've just carried sacks. I already did that for the miller.
Yesterday, the good wife from that farm came and told me both their pigs died. So we'll scoop up. Up and haul them off. I mean, you scoop them up and haul them to my cart. She says it was a curse. There was a flash of lightning, the pigs started trembling, squealing and puking, and then keeled over and dropped dead.
All right, that's what you get. People sin here in their seclusion, thinking they're out of sight of our Lord.
It ain't my first day doing this job, so I could see right off them pigs had been poisoned. The good wife swore them pigs were happy as, well, pigs in shit. She said they even let them go to a nearby stream to have a wallow. It flows here through the forest on the right. Since we're here, you ought to go and take a look around there. Check how clear that spring really is.
All right. I'll see what's going on there.
And I'm going to enjoy having a helper. At least for one day. Maybe I'll roll around in the grass here with Snorter and Dragonfly. Well, I'm here like I promised, and I even have a helper here with me who'll be doing the carrying for me today.
Poor fella. Where did you dig him up?
He came to me from Lower Sameen.
So I'd better go and stand in the doorway. One eye on him, one on the chest with valuables.
This one's honest. He might even take a look to see what was troubling them pigs.
At first, I thought it was that beast of Visar's that done it, but the pigs weren't bit. So it was definitely a curse.
Curse my arse. From what you said, it had to be poisoning, but it's hard to say from what. But we may just find that out from Henry here. And as far as Visar is concerned, I'm headed there next. I have the stuff with me.
But make sure you take care of it, yeah? I can't bear it much longer.
You ain't the only one.
Rather go back to sacks of flour.
The Lord sees you.
Ew. Is this really worth it?
Oh well. Poor things. A waste of good meat.
Get over here so we can carry on. Get away with that weapon. Go away with that thing.
Come here! How's it taste? Good? Eat up, doggy.
Do you want to...
I took care of the carcasses. We can drive on.
And what about this mysterious curse?
I'm not in the mood to deal with it.
Making sure you don't work any more than you have to, eh? Let's go then. Hop on. We have one more stop before the grand revelation of unimaginable saltpeter treasure. Lads, seeing as how you don't obey me, you're surely horsing around today. So far it ain't that bad, eh? You don't have to take down no hanged man or bury an unbaptized child.
Well, ever since I started working for the miller, all I did was carry sacks. The sack makers here in the region must live like kings. Of course it could be a lot worse.
I like having to carry sacks full of thistles. Now listen to me closely. You won't be carrying anything at the next farmstead. Instead, you'll have to make one carcass there. See, the work of a knacker ain't just about clearing away dead animals. Now and then you've got to put down some creature so it don't suffer. Or, like today, to put it down so everyone around it don't have to suffer. In this case, we're talking about a dog.
Well, what can I do? But I doubt I'll feel good about it.
That cur belongs to the greengrocer, Visor. I've heard they're both pretty fierce. Don't draw too much attention to yourself at the farmstead. I'll give you some Aesop potion to drink first, and some meat and bane. Soak the meat with the poison and throw it to the dog. He'll probably be locked in a pen somewhere. As soon as it's done, we'll disappear before anyone notices anything. I got paid well for it from the neighbors, so don't fuck it up for me. Yeah! Yeah! Lazy bones sees you. Yeah!
Sakra! The dog isn't here. The door's open. Where did he run off to? Barking? He's coming from over there.
Henry, how come you're here?
Bonnie? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
The gravedigger wants me to poison that dog.
Jesus! And are you going to do it?
Well, what else can I do? You're the one who sent me to Ignatius. You just tactfully neglected to mention that when you and Zinnek were acting as his hands, you robbed half the houses in the county.
Shit. It's all gone sour.
This is all I have left to do before he takes me to the saltpeter pit.
And couldn't you find the pit without that? Just take a look at that poor creature. I'd like to keep him in place of my poor dead sniffer.
You surely know how to pick 'em. Your poor creature is terrorizing the whole area.
It's not the animal's fault. When Zinnek and I were here last, I saw how old Vysarik treats him. He doesn't give him food. He abuses him. With a master like that, he won't last long. You wouldn't kill a dumb creature just because its master is a sick horseman, would you?
Well, you don't have to convince me. Ever since the gravedigger told me to do it, I've been trying to figure out how to save that dog. If you want to take him, I won't stop you.
You're a much better Christian than I thought you were. I'll take him to the lair. We'll meet there.
Hurry off now, before someone sees us together.
Come on now, boy. You'll like it in the lair.
I bought a lovely U-bow the other day.
It's taken care of.
Taken care of? What do you mean?
I set the dog free. He didn't deserve to die.
For fuck's sake, didn't deserve to die? We were supposed to get rid of him, 'cause that's just what he deserves.
Bonnie from the mill came and took the dog before we got to him.
Well, fuck me. How much more is that girl going to steal before she has enough?
Oh, she'll take better care of him than Baysar did. All he needs is to be fed properly, and he won't be dangerous anymore.
I surely fucking hope not. Because if he runs off and ravages something or someone again, then we didn't help at all. Let's go before we start looking suspicious.
So this is it. This is the pit.
Slowly, boy, slowly. Have a bit of respect. Death always deserves respect, whether it's people or animals.
But there's hardly 3 heaps here. Is this really it? Are you yanking my pizzle again?
Of course not. True, it used to be one big pit. But then I found out when you pile up carcasses in smaller pits and throw some wet hay between them, it all rots better. And the better it rots, the more niter you'll have. Are you going to take some right away?
I won't. I'll just tell Crazel where you have it. I don't know if he'll take something away. Maybe he'll just make his own pit according to your design.
Now that would be a great honor.
Well, I reckon I'm delaying the inevitable. I'll still have to taste it.
You're going to taste it?
It's the only way I can be certain it really is saltpeter.
God's nails. And they say I'm disgusting. Wait a moment. I can't say I'm all that satisfied with your help, but I don't want you to think old Ignatius is an ungrateful bastard. So I have something here for you. Although, to tell the truth, you didn't much grow on me.
Oh, that's a shame. Because I thought you were a pretty good fella. In fact, I'm actually kind of fond of you in a way.
If you're trying to come out smelling of roses now, don't bother. Here's something that'll definitely come in handy if you ever need to go through all this again. Either with me or somewhere else.
Thanks.
Taste it then. Get to it. This I have got to see. have to make such a feast of it?
Look at me. I'm a Lord's messenger to a taster of cadavers. Cold and salty. This must be it.
Praise God.
I found the place where we can harvest saltpeter. You just head out of Troskovitz towards Apollonia, carry on alongside the road, then head off it at the right spot. Only it's not a pit, it's 3 piles of earth. The gravedigger Ignatius drove me there himself.
And is it the real stuff? Did you taste it?
Yeah. And I hope I never have to do that again. Ugh. I think the experience has changed me forever.
Oh, come on. You whine more than Zinnik. It's just commonplace salt. I was hoping it'd be closer. To go all the way to Apollonia. If I send 2 wagons, that should be enough.
What should I do?
That means I could mix a barrel and a half.
Crazel, focus. What else do you need from me?
Oh, sorry. What were you asking? About a reward? It's right here.
Thanks. How's it going with the golem?
Well, the whole thing is really appealing to a scholar of my field of interest and important for humanity. But certain circumstances have emerged which, unfortunately, move its creation somewhere further into the future.
Wait, what do you mean? So there won't be any golem?
Not for now.
What about all the niter? The life essence?
I admitted to myself it's maybe too much to take on, and I decided to go back to my roots.
So the search for saltpeter was for nothing?
Not at all. The saltpeter will help us create primordial matter. The origin. Chaos. Materia prima.
God. Here we go again.
As alchemical scholars, we actually have only one task before us. To penetrate the diaphanum and find out where it gets its disposition and power from. Only then will we understand the nature of the shadows.
Eh?
I'll explain it to you.
Tell me then. What's the next task then, Crazel?
From behind the closed gates of Trotsky come quiet whispers, carried by the wind, all the way here to me in the mill. Do you hear it too?
Can you get to the point? What's this about?
Scribe Erezine received a trunk from Prague, and in that trunk was...
The document of Hermes Trismegistos?
No, a book. And from an author more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance, but the treasure's inside. You might say it's kind of an alchemical cookbook.
I'll finally get to experience your transformation of matter firsthand. When the executioner transforms my body into one without arms. I'm certainly not going to steal anything from Trotsky. I don't even know how I'd get inside.
First, hear me out. Nice and calm. The gates of Trotsky may appear to be closed to us, mere mortals. But why try to force your way in when there's a person they'll invite in themselves?
What person?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got the Samine wedding coming up. I can't wait to try out my new potion against drunkenness there. What about you? You still need to get there?
Certainly. It's why I decided to work for you. Or have you forgotten? I hope your promise still stands.
Of course it does. What do you take me for? Start by quickly finding some decent clothes. Ad charisma tuendum. You look like a vagabond in what you're wearing now. St. Paul wouldn't be pleased with you.
So you'll really get me into that wedding? Am I dreaming?
No, you're not. But before you start celebrating, we won't be going by ourselves. We'll have company. Or, to be more exact, the two of us will be accompanying a certain person. Me as a friend and host, and you as a bodyguard, loyal servant. Call it what you will.
And who is this mysterious person?
A true lady will come to the wedding with us. Radiant as the morning star, refined as pure gold. All will be stunned by her beauty, and she'll be our lockpick that will find the weak spot in the gate to Trotsky. All it'll take is a little push, and clunk! The lock will open, and the book will be mine.
Similes, word games. I'll never get a straight answer out of you.
The castle's weak spot is Chamberlain Ulrich, because he himself has a weakness for women. Of all the single damsels at the wedding, ours will be the most charming and irresistible for him. Noble or not, he's a mortal man, and he'll start to think with his male member. We will watch as he becomes feverish with lust. Soon he'll be begging to take our companion to Trotsky. He'll pretend his motives are pure, so she'll be more comfortable. And when the Chamberlain becomes insistent, you, as her personal bodyguard, will accept his offer. Naturally, you'll say you won't leave her side so you can defend her honor. Once in Trotsky, Ulrich will do everything to get you to leave him alone with her. And that will be your chance.
I can hardly believe that you, of all people, would come up with such a straightforward plan.
Well, it's not all that straightforward. I admit there's a certain element here that makes everything more complicated. First, we have to find our gracious lady.
Ah. And I'm gonna look for one, right?
Who else? Look, she doesn't have to be a lady per se. We just need a wench with a pretty face. We'll get her a nice dress, some perfume. She doesn't even have to speak. We'll do the talking.
Could Bonnie do it?
She could. The only hitch is everyone and his dog knows her face. Nobody with any sense would let her into the Samine wedding.
So a village girl will do?
I doubt an ordinary village girl would agree to what we're going to ask of her. You can find lots of capable girls at the Gelioff baths, including some who aren't so well known. It's true, Dorothy can be a bit unpleasant, but you'll be giving her an offer she can't refuse.
Dorothy owns the bathhouse?
Aye, next to the alehouse there. You'll tell her I'm offering enough groschen to buy 2 cows, or a small cottage. That should soften her up.
All right. I'll take care of it.
Excellent. You're a talented, likable youngster, like Knight Roland of yore. I have complete faith in you. And don't forget, we're going to need to dress the girl up and make her smell nice so she comes across like a real lady. So, stop off at Troskowitz as well and get her a nice brocade dress and some long-lasting perfume. Mintha would be ideal.
Where can I find the dress?
Where do you think? The butcher's? Go and see the tailor. Bartoszek has just the thing in his shop. A beautiful red dress made of Tyrolean brocade.
Why that dress exactly?
Because red is the color of love and passion. And rich Tyrolean brocade is just begging to be touched. Ulrich won't know where to look. The dress is likely to be pretty expensive. But that's no obstacle for you, right?
Where can I find the perfume?
Emmerich the apothecary might have something. They say he makes some perfume for his wife. Or ask Betty the innkeeper. She may be a god-awful battle axe, but a nice-smelling one. Or get hold of the recipe and make your own mintha. As an alchemy apprentice, you should be able to manage.
I'll be going then.
Once you've got everything ready for the wedding, we'll meet in front of the fortress gate. There, I'll let our lady in on some other details of our plan. But that won't be for your ears. Anyway, you'll be rehearsing your speech to Lord von Berghoff then, won't you?
I can't wait. Damn it. I really fucked up this time. I should go to confession.
Someone should kick their asses. Really clever. I hate humans. Human hearts.
I'll be keeping my...
Look out!
He wants to steal from you!
Beware! A thief! He's feeling around your belt! Thief! Go and arrest him! Quickly!
And
It
I
was
thought such
you.
things only happen in Prague.
Easy now. I surrender.
Now I'll show you. You're a pickpocket, and a lousy one at that. Pay up, and show me what you've got.
Are you shitting me? What a way to make some groceries.
I'm very sorry. This is just a big misunderstanding.
What do you mean, misunderstanding?
I was robbed here not too long ago. They took my entire purse. I thought it was mine.
Well, why didn't you just ask?
You think someone would just voluntarily show me their purse? I just wanted to take a peek.
With your hands.
I'd easily recognise it by touch. It's made from a fine calf skin.
So, was it your purse or not?
It wasn't. I'll have to keep looking.
All right. You can go. But next time, ask instead of sticking your fingers where they don't belong.
Greetings.
Greetings to you.
What'll it be, you bum?
Crazel has an offer for you.
What does that old goat want this time?
He's looking for a girl for the Samim wedding.
What, for himself?
Aye. More or less.
What do you mean, more or less? Does he want her for himself or not?
Aye. For himself.
So he wants her to accompany him to the wedding?
Aye, but it's all for Chamberlain Ulrich.
So the girl's supposed to end up with Ulrich. How much is he offering?
He says he can offer enough groschen for you to buy 2 cows. Or a small cottage.
It's quite a lot for our usual services.
And that's not all. Your girl will also get a beautiful red dress made of Tyrolean brocade and a perfume called Minta. Nobody will be able to resist her. I've already got everything. Just say the word.
That sounds nice and all. But that ain't nearly enough for certain services.
I don't understand. An offer like that? What's the problem?
You know what? I'm tired of this. Let's go and see what the girls have to say. They'll tell you about what they've been through with the Master Chamberlain. Girls, come here. Right, girls. We have a messenger here from Goodman Crazel. Tell us what you wanted to ask.
It's about the Samim wedding.
And the Chamberlain, who one of you should attend to.
God, anything but that. Dorothy, I actually have a lot of work to do, and...
Well, who wants to go first? Anna.
What should I say?
What should she say?
Tell me, why don't you want anything to do with the Chamberlain?
Well, the Lord Chamberlain invited me to Trotsky, and the girls warned me that it would be different to what I was used to. So I asked him if I should take a different soap or something. Or does the Master Chamberlain not like silk? Or if his bed is hard and my back will hurt. If only. But they said I'd have to do things that... How'd you put it? things they haven't even thought of in hell.
I thought the Master Chamberlain might be of a different religion, and that fucking a Christian girl would be a sin. But he believes in the same God as the rest of us.
Which makes it all the worse.
Then I thought maybe he was cruel to the girls, but I hear that's not the case either. It's not what he wants to do to us that's against God.
But what he wants us to do to him.
I thought he had leprosy.
Tell the girls how much Crazel is offering.
Enough that you'll be able to buy 2 cows.
Or even a small cottage. Not bad, eh? Well, is anyone willing to go with the Chamberlain?
Not even for a golden goose.
I'd rather be celibate.
I thought he had leprosy.
Aye, but it's a tidy sum. I reckon I'll have to choose one of you myself.
Dorothy, I swear that
I'm not going anywhere. You can't make me.
Dorothy, I'll scrub all the tubs here for the rest of my life. I swear. All of them. Every day.
I'll do that too. And I'll even take care of the outhouses.
Girls, come now.
I'll go then. If I can handle it a second time, it'll be a miracle. And maybe they'll even make me a saint.
No, you can't. Dorothy, please don't make her do that again.
Dorothy, for the love of God.
Calm down, girls. Don't worry. I'll never send you to the Chamberlain again. I just wanted to show Crazel's lackey here what you've been keeping from me for so long.
Christ almighty. I was starting to accept my fate.
God in heaven.
Oh, I feel filthy just thinking about it. I'd like to jump in a bath.
So, in case you didn't get the message, lad, no girl from Zhelioff is going with the Chamberlain.
I still don't get it. What's so terrible about him?
Weren't you listening?
What he demands is just heathen it is.
It's worse than if he had leprosy.
Does he like it when it hurts?
If only.
That would be a doddle.
I'd go with him twice if that's all it was.
You don't want to know, believe me.
All right. What am I supposed to do now?
Do what you like. We've said our piece. Go and find some heathen girl. A harlot like that came here recently, asking for work. She was from them nomads.
Aye, I remember her. Nose in the air, talking fancy like some scholar.
She introduced herself as Enneline of Winterthur, like she was some noblewoman.
I didn't trust her for a moment. She was pretty, though. There's no denying that. I wanted to give her a chance, but she asked for so much coin. I thought I must be hearing things. Try asking after her in the camp. Maybe she's got a stronger stomach than my girls.
Poor thing.
I'll pray for her.
Well, thank you.
To be Jesus Christ.
Greetings.
Careful!
What was that? What's that sound? Fuck you, whoreson!
Damn! I'm bleeding! Damn! Dead. And robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Oh, a nice bit of venison. And something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place.
I don't like this. It's not usual for her to be gone so long. Will you help an old woman, young man?
Have you seen a stray dog around? I thought he was dead, but he's likely still alive.
I'm sorry. I haven't seen any dogs around.
Oh, sucker. Do you have any idea where else he might have gone?
If I were a dog, I'd go to where there's food. There are plenty of fishermen around the pond, and they're always throwing out leftovers at the tavern.
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover food?
I don't know much about dogs. He could have run into the woods and started hunting. He wouldn't be the first or the last. There's a whole pack of wolves near Samin these days. Maybe your dog's gone feral and is running around with them.
Thanks. Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. If I was you, I'd ask in Troskovitz. That's where she was heading last time I saw her. And if she arrived, someone must have seen her. And you can look in the hut in her place in the loft. She keeps her things there. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
What did I do to you?
God be with you. Tamistas, penamistas.
Jesus Christ be
praised.
Why are you showing that off? You were starting to scare me.
I hear there's some Eneline here with you. Where can I find her?
She is calming our horses with her pretty little face. Follow the smell of the feelies and you'll find her. Or if not, she'll be getting water down at the pond.
Stop fooling around. You were starting to scare me.
You look to me a lot like the one Aranka was talking about. The voivod will want to talk to you. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
What are you? Don't you dare hurt me with that thing! There you go.
Are you Mistress Eneline of Winterthur?
Winterthur, Lyon, Vienna. It doesn't matter. What do you want?
I'm Henry. I was sent by Miller Crazel. We have a job offer for you.
Huh. How did you find out about me?
At the Zhelyov Baths. They said you asked about a job there.
I realised straight away it was a bad idea. What a pit. That cow who runs the place almost fainted when I talked about coin. If she had any idea my real value is 10 times higher. But be that as it may, what's the job?
To go to the Semine wedding with us. As a companion.
A wedding, you say? The last time I was at a wedding was in Nevers, France. I had to sing there. I'd like to avoid that this time.
You don't have to sing. Or even say much. All you have to do is behave like a lady.
Behave like a lady? Do you mind? I am one. Or hadn't you noticed?
Sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
Huh. All right, then. How much?
Crazel's offering enough to buy a little cottage.
A cottage? I was offered an estate for my services in Antwerp, and a 30-foot gondola in Venice. Although this is only Trotsky after all, I can't expect too much in this backwater. All right then, I'll do it. But first, tell me this. What can I expect at this Semine?
You'll be treated to the finest food there. Meat, cakes, maybe even fish.
Lovely. And what else?
Now that Trotsky is closed, there's no more prominent stronghold in the region than Semine Fortress. Someone will surely give you a tour and show you the magnificently decorated chambers.
Tempting, tempting. And what else?
I even hear Lord Otto von Berghoff will be there, the Lord of Trotsky. Someone will surely introduce you to him. Well, and wherever von Berghoff goes, he's followed by the second most important man in the domain, the Chamberlain of Trotsky, Sir Ulrich von Schaumburg.
The Chamberlain, as in the castle caretaker. I'm not interested in some little clerk.
You should be. He's the one Crazel wants you to pay attention to at the wedding.
Pay attention? How?
So you two can... how can I put it? You know, get friendly. Intimate. In a romantic way, if you get me.
I beg your pardon. Do you take me for some cheap whore? A harem girl? A brothel wench? A bathhouse hussy?
I'm sorry, but...
Silence! I am Eneline, a companion, a courtesan. I am courted by gentlemen vying for my favour. I have been a concubine in Krakow, a mistress in Venice, and a gentleman's companion in Basel. My name is known in Brandenburg, Marseille, and Malopolska. I have fulfilled the wildest wishes of the most important commanders of Sigismund's army. Until he stopped paying, the ginger bastard, I'll do my work the way I see fit. Got that?
All right. Got it.
I should hope so. So, to the point. What do you want from the Chamberlain?
It's mainly about a book we need to borrow from Trotsky. And the way to get it leads right through the Chamberlain and his quarters. And maybe through his bed. I don't know the exact details. Crazel will tell you himself.
So, common theft. That's a bit of a disappointment. I've played a part in assassinations and rebellions, and now I'm reduced to this, helping to steal a book. But why not? I expect it won't be anything too complicated, and the coin is certainly worth it.
Not so fast. It won't be that easy with the Chamberlain.
Why do you think that?
Just so you know, Crazel originally wanted to take a bath wench to the wedding, but the girls said they didn't want anything to do with him because of his... special tastes. I asked them what's behind it, and, well, some wanted to vomit after meeting him. Others said they started considering the convent.
Poor girls. Here in the arse end of the world, girls are no doubt used to just lying on their backs and staring up at the ceiling.
Well, it seems it's not about what Chamberlain Schaumburg did to them, but what he wanted them to do to him.
I knew a Schaumburg from Nuremberg, and he was a hermaphrodite. He had both things, a respected person, a member of the town council. It can catch you off guard, because you don't know what you're getting into. Maybe it's also the case with the local bathwenchers. But I don't want to make fun of the girls. Not everyone wants to try new tricks, if you know what I mean. I must say, I'm quite curious about the Chamberlain now.
You're taking it bravely.
Believe me, it takes a lot to shock me. I'm not easily frightened, and just in case, there's this potion I carry around. A couple of drops and the Chamberlain will sleep like a log. Except I've run out of wine. I should have some at hand, just to be sure.
I can find some wine for you.
I'd manage somehow, but I won't complain if you see to it for me. There's one more thing, though. I don't think anyone will believe I'm a lady in these old rags.
Don't worry about that. Crazel told me to get hold of a dress and some perfume for you.
What dress?
A red one. Tyrolean brocade.
Brocade. I like it. Crazel clearly knows what he's doing.
I've got hold of the dress for you already.
Clever boy. I can't wait. Are you going to the wedding as well?
As your bodyguard.
Well, don't think you're going in what you're wearing now. You'd look like a beggar I brought along out of pity. Sort it out. And as for that perfume, it ought to be one that lasts a long time.
Crazel suggested Minter.
I'll take his word for it.
I've already got it for you.
Come on then, show me.
About the things for the wedding.
Yes.
I brought you some wine.
Oh, you remembered. Thank you.
A trifle. I have a dress for you. What do you think?
My, oh my, that is very pretty. Fine handiwork. I'd tidy up the seams a bit, but so be it. We're not in a city, let alone Innsbruck. Thanks.
I have some perfume for you. Will this do?
My God, it smells just like the yellow headband I wore in Pisa. It brings back memories. Thanks.
I've brought you everything you asked for. Are you ready to leave for Semi?
I am. Once you're ready, just say the word.
Can we go to Semi now?
Not so fast, sweetheart.
What's the hold-up? We're going to be late.
Are those your best clothes?
No.
Then why are you wearing that? You can't go to the wedding looking like that. Just look at yourself. You'll scare people. Come back when you've fixed yourself up. Otherwise, they won't even let us in. Put on some decent clothes so you don't embarrass me. And please, no armor.
Yeah. All right.
Well, hurry up, fella. Don't keep me waiting.
Can we go to Samin now?
That wasn't too hard, was it? It suits you. You won't look out of place now.
Good to hear. Should we go?
Hold on a while. I'll get washed and dressed, then we can go.
Welcome, Miller. Who are your companions?
Who do you think? More guests.
Crazo, my friend. So you've arrived. And you're bringing company?
Sir, allow me to introduce Miss Kvieta from Kolin. She's an acquaintance of mine. That is, I knew her parents. They were burghers.
I was passing by, and Miller Crazel was kind enough to ask me to accompany him. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all. I wouldn't turn away a visitor from so far away.
Lord Samin, why didn't you tell me you were expecting a lovely lady?
I'm just as surprised as you are. This is Goodwife Kvieta.
Miss Kvieta, from Colleen. It's an honour, Master Chamberlain.
And who are you, lad?
Henry. I'm helping Miller Crazel.
I brought him along to chaperone Miss Kvieta. She doesn't know anyone here, so I didn't want to leave her alone.
The services of your lad will not be required. I'll be happy to take care of Miss Kvieta. Of course, only if she wants to.
It would be an honour, Master Chamberlain.
You can leave, boy.
But, Master Chamberlain, you wouldn't just send Henry off, would you?
There's food and drink aplenty. We can easily accommodate one more guest.
Thank you. What about Lord von Berghoff? Has he arrived yet? I'd love to meet him.
The Royal Chamberlain is certainly not interested in the likes of you, boy.
Well, he hasn't arrived yet anyway.
I'm sure he'll come. You don't have to worry, sir.
I hope so. We can't hold off the ceremony until evening.
Oh, plenty of daylight left. At least you can get rid of those flea-ridden beggars by the gate in the meantime.
What? They're back? Tuma! Didn't I tell you to chase them away?
I drove them off, but they came back.
Close the gate so the guests don't see them. They must be gone by the time Lord von Berghoff arrives. Every last one, you hear?
Oh dear, oh dear. Why so angry, sir? You seem a little jumpy. Surely not because of Sir Otto.
Of course it's because of him. What if it all ends up in disgrace? What if he turns up at the gate and leaves? I know he's capable of that.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Thanks, but I can't ask that of you. What kind of host would that make me?
If the boy offers voluntarily, you shouldn't turn him down. If he proves himself, perhaps we can introduce him to Lord von Berghoff as a reward, if that's what he wants.
I promise I won't bring shame on you.
We'll see. I've got to make some arrangements with the cook, but come and see me later. In the meantime, you can introduce yourself to the bailiff's son, Svartepluk, over there. You're the same age, so I think you'll get along just fine.
See now, Henry? I'm sure he could point you out some pretty lasses.
There's plenty of other entertainment, too. Bailiff Thrush is holding a dice tournament, and Captain Gnarly a dueling contest. In short, a proper wedding. Eat and drink to your heart's content. Rejoice! It's a big day for Samin.
One more thing, sir.
What else? Did I forget something?
They're, weapons.
Yes, of course. Please leave your weapons with Tuma. You surely understand it's for security.
Glad she's happy. At least she seems to be. If I find out that Olda has some... Hey, I know you. You fought with us at the tavern.
Yeah, that'll be me. They call me Henry.
I heard. Anyway, what happened, happened. Let's not let it ruin our day. I'm Svatja. The pretty girl getting married today is my sister.
So I've heard.
This is Vitek, the son of the biggest drunkard around. Be glad you didn't have the honor. Fortunately, my father's not here to embarrass me again. Ma's afraid he got lost, or she didn't even come to the wedding because of it. But I'm sure he's just sleeping off his hangover somewhere. Quiet, you two. Sakura.
Now I don't know what he said to her. Christ. Look at her face.
Whose?
Look over there. That pretty girl and the sad sack trying to impress her. That's our friend, Wojtek.
Can't say I blame him. She's lovely. Your friend has good taste.
He's bitten off more than he can chew, though. Hey, Svatcha, what's her name, anyway? Mishka. Her ma is old Samin's cook. That asshole Wojtek thinks he's going to win her over with some idiotic verse.
Actually, girls like poems. Well, unless you gabble like a barnyard gander while reciting them.
Gander, huh? Good one. Why don't you show Wojtek how it's done?
Well, I suppose I...
Jesus Christ! There's an idea! Let's bet on who has a better chance with Mishka. Vulgar Wojtek or handsome Henry. I'd like to see that. You're on. My money's on Henry. 10 groschen. So off you go, dust off your hose, tuck in your shirt, and go and win her heart. I'll wager 10 groschen he fails.
I'm in.
Whoa! I didn't expect you to agree right away. You're an animal. You and I will get along just fine. Or you get along with everybody. Well, that is, if you don't punch them in the mouth at first sight. What's Wojtek even saying to us?
It's not that bad.
So we can dance then.
Oh, you just...
Oh, Mishka, dearest. You give me no rest.
Really? Isn't it the other way around?
You keep me awake at night.
You poor thing. Try a decoction of Melissa and Valerian.
How I long to hold you tight.
I can hardly breathe as it is.
Greetings.
How I long to kiss your lips. And, put my hands on your hips.
Enough. I can't listen to another word.
That makes two of us.
And you are who?
I'm Henry.
What do you want here?
To make the acquaintance of the young damsel. If she's willing, of course.
She's not willing, and she has no interest in your nonsense.
The damsel has a voice and a name.
And may I know it? Or is that impertinent?
Mishka.
Now look here.
Anything wrong?
I spoke to her first.
Are we on the marketplace here?
You think you can amuse Mishka more? That's a joke.
Look, Wojtek. Why don't we just leave Mishka alone, eh? She's not interested in our buffoonery anyway.
What buffoonery? It was you who interrupted us.
He interrupted you. More like he rescued me.
But I thought you liked it.
Well, do you know what it means to think?
I don't understand this at all. But girls like poems. All of them. Ma said so.
Recite to your ma, then. And give her my greetings.
But...
Sorry I didn't realise right away.
Better late than never. Wojtek still hasn't figured it out, though.
But...
Hey, come along with me, Henry.
Fucking hell. See what you did? Mishka would be mine if it wasn't for your meddling.
Christ, pardon me. Isn't it better here?
It's a nice place. Thanks for showing it to me. It's definitely quieter here.
I come here when I want to be alone. Or when I'm washing laundry.
You want to be alone? At a wedding?
It's not that. I like weddings. Only fellas like Wojtek spoil the fun for me a bit. Every time. Some fella comes sniffing around me, telling me how pretty I am, how clever, how well I dance. Or about how he's so rich, smart, and God knows what else.
Those are the worst.
Thanks for getting rid of Wojtek for me. I hope you won't live to regret it.
Don't you worry about me.
Enough of that. I'd rather hear about you. Like, where you're from, what you're doing here. You're not a local. I'd know you if you were.
Where am I from?
Unless it's a secret, of course.
I'm from Rattay. Well, it's my new home.
New? Why?
Because my village was torched. So I fled there.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to bring up sad memories. Wouldn't you like to dance? It'll take your mind off things.
Gladly. May I have the honor?
And do you know how? Or will you stamp on my slippers?
You better believe I know how.
We'll see about that.
Care to dance?
Twit. So, and 1, 2, 3, and off we go.
I wonder how Henry will fare. I hope he's got something up his sleeve. He can't possibly come off worse than boyfriend.
See? You're doing pretty good.
Oh, you're not the worst dancer yourself.
You flatterer. Better keep your mind on the steps. Thanks, Henry. I enjoyed the dance.
I hope he's got something up his sleeve. He can't possibly. Would you look at that? The return of the prodigal son. How did it go?
Mishka's a nice girl. I'm glad I got to know her.
I don't doubt it. Where did you two go? Took you a while.
We danced and then parted ways. Nothing more.
We saw you dancing. But where were you hiding before?
We were just talking. We went somewhere quieter.
Talked, eh? That's the best story you can make up?
Give him a break. Not everyone's a blabbermouth like you.
Either way, it looks like I won the bet, Svatya.
That's true. Oh well, we have to drink. To the newlyweds' health.
That's what everybody here drinks to. Let's drink to us, fellas.
I should go and see Lord Semi. He looked worried. And I promised I'd help him. He'll introduce me to Lord von Berghoff in return.
Can't wait to show off your work, eh?
I'm here to help you, sir.
I said you didn't have to.
Well, I made a promise. Is this about the beggars by the gate?
That too, but I'm more worried about my wayward relatives and their insatiable thirst.
I haven't had the pleasure yet.
They're with my nephew Yurko. They're not bad fellows, but when they get drunk, well, what can I tell you? That's Moravians for you.
I'll try to keep an eye on them. Maybe I'll be able to keep them in check.
You'd be pulling a thorn from my side. But don't get your hopes up. Getting between them and booze is asking for trouble.
What about the beggars, sir?
Try asking Tuma, the guard on the gate. Maybe he's figured something out already.
Wouldn't it be enough to give them a bit of food and encourage them to move on?
You think I didn't think of that? Or that I'm a pinch purse?
I certainly didn't mean that, sir.
If it was up to me, they'd all eat their fill. But my cook won't allow it. She cooks well, but she's shamefully stingy.
I'll talk to Tuma and we'll work something out.
Well, try to be done with it before Lord von Berghoff arrives.
Of course.
Thanks, Henry. I appreciate it.
Are you bringing us that liquor or not?
What? No, you're mistaken. I'm not the...
Move your ass! We've not to sup here, Ken.
But Lord Samin said...
Dinna mind that bodak. Since we came here from Moravia, we've got nothing to drink but that minging piss of yours. Makes me fucking boak, it does. So nae mind old Samin. And bring me the proper stuff, Ken.
You know why Lord Samin won't give you anything better? Because he's afraid you'll get drunk and start a brawl.
Now look here, you bampot. I'll tell you an age-old piece of wisdom. A dry Moravian is 100 times more edge than a drunk one. So, if you didn't want this place smashed to pieces, bring us some decent liquor.
I see. This is getting serious. And where would I find something?
Something, my ass. We want the good swally we brought from Moravia. Seeing as we kept there being up pishy, but old Sir me took it from us and hid it in the fortress dunnies.
Dunnies?
The cellars. That old Bodak even put them under guard with our liquor inside.
All right. But how will I recognise this stuff I'm looking for?
I'm sure you'll be able to tell. It's a wee jug. Well, maybe not all that wee.
And who's guarding the cellar?
A guard, of course. He's holed up in there like a badger, gawking at the door and not moving an inch.
I don't think there's much I can do about the guard. Do you have any ideas?
I don't care. Just get rid of him. Make up some geech so he fucks off. I'll let you in there. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
All right, then. I won't let you down.
One, I'll be having the time of my life.
Are you still quarrelling?
Hey, lads.
I'm surprised you can still keep it up.
Not my fault.
I'm sorry.
I'm thirsty. You better leave before Locke's the meat issue.
You shouldn't be coming in here. May your hand fall off, you scum!
Quickly, for the love of God, sort out this rubble before they turn everything into firewood!
Cursed luck. Well, well. Distinguished guests.
For the love of God. Does it have to be him?
Trust me, friend.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
We need to have a word with you.
Would your graces care to sit?
I think not.
What brings you to my humble rectory, gentlemen?
Are you all packed, Godwin? I heard you got kicked out of your humble rectory.
Your concern is really touching, Hanush. Did you come to see me off,
or to help me do my laundry?
Watch your mouth, priest. You might end up losing more than your parish.
Easy, my friend. Don't let him get you all worked up.
I'd like to teach him a good lesson.
But that's not why we're here.
Well, why are you here then?
We have a secret mission for you.
I'm all ears, Sir Rodzik.
Do you know about Lord Capon's mission?
Aye. I heard a word or two about that. Where was it you sent him? Trotsky?
Yes, to Sir Otto von Berghoff's castle.
Royal Chamberlain von Berger. The League of Lords fella.
You know more than I'd expect from you.
It doesn't surprise me. I also know that Trotsky is about 3 days' ride away.
2 days, weather permitting.
The young lord should have been back long since then, shouldn't he?
He should. But he's not.
And why did you come to me for this?
For Christ's sake, get your booze-soaked noggin working. Isn't it obvious? We need you to go to Trotsky and find out what's keeping him.
Why me?
Honestly, I'd like to know that too, Radzig. Why this fellow?
He has experience like few others. You know that, Hanush. And not just in combat. Although he might not look like it at the moment, he is from a noble family, so he knows how to deal with nobility.
What? You're saying this scoundrel in a cassock is blue-blooded?
It's true. And he also understands the common people. Since we don't know what's holding Capon up, we need someone who can deal with whoever he comes across.
I hope you're right. So what do you say, Godwin?
How could I say no after such words of praise?
Well, that went better than I expected.
Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. I won't rest until my nephew is safely back in Perkstein.
When should I go?
Right away.
Fuck! Did they have to lock us up in here of all places? I have a feeling these walls are moving. The cell is getting smaller and smaller. Can you hear me? Let me out!